We take refuge in Almighty God and from the cursed Satan. In the name of God, the compassionate and the merciful, may the peace and blessings of God be upon Muhammad and his family. Blessed. The class number 37 of emotional intelligence. In the previous class, we promised to talk about how to act in post-fight. It means, well, I have had a fight with my partner. Now I want, based on emotional intelligence, based on controlling my emotions, to act in a wise way that helps me improve my life, enhance my love, and move forward in happiness. All right, in the aftermath of a fight, how are we going to act? That's quite important. Listen carefully, brother. When there is a fight, we can act in two ways. First, the emotional way. What does that mean? We leave the steering wheel of life in the hands of our emotions. Well, I have fought. The person has replied to me. I have scratched that person's face, and that person has attacked me and verbally assaulted me. So what I carry inside me is hatred. It's a feeling. It's something like resentment, a quest for revenge that I have, right? So, behind the wheel, in the control cabin, who is handling the negative emotions? Well, negative emotions say, they call the entire crew of the body. Look, we call everyone, come, help me. What do you want to do, Mr. Negative Emotion? Very well, I want to destroy that person. Then the intellect will be a slave in the hands of negative emotion. Mr. Intellect, look who is in charge. Who commands? Mr. Negative Emotion. It is in control of you. Then it says the intellect must serve me. Help me find more excuses so we can say, to create more negativity in that relationship, because I want to take mental revenge first. That person should be bad enough to justify all kinds of attacks I want to make. Now, if someone comes to defend or say my partner, whom I am currently hating, it bothers me. Why does it bother me? Because I want to destroy my partner, because negative emotions are in control. Since I want to destroy her, I don't want this person, who is my wife, to have the slightest advantage. If someone comes to talk about the virtues of my wife, it makes me angry, it irritates me. Why? Because negative emotions are in control. So what is it that I like? Let a friend come to destroy my wife, to speak ill of my wife, to speak ill of my husband, to speak ill of my partner. You send, then that's it. That's welcome to speak ill in their absence. Then that will happen in your mind. You will look for more flaws in your partner. You will focus all that CPU of your head. And the search process will begin to work. We are going to look for all the flaws, every little detail of the flaws from all the time you have known her. And you will present the results. On such and such date, she told you this very well on the next date. Thus, we have a process that is much stronger than Google in our heads. When we want to concentrate on something, it will process much more strongly than Google and will dive into all the details. Google may lose some detail, but my mind doesn't fail when the anger is building up. Listen carefully. So, what happens? I am going to compile a long list of the flaws, bad behaviors, disadvantages, and vices of the person I am fighting with, who in this case is my partner. So that list is going to be so long that it will be enough to, we can say, tarnish that person's dignity. So in their mind, that person is already stained, period. This person deserves all the bad because they are the worst on earth. Oh, really? Then I say, oh, how good. It's a part of mental revenge. From mental revenge, we arrive at the work. And at the work, the mouth begins. When after 1 hour using the intellect as an instrument of revenge, the intellect is not in command. The intellect is a slave on that ship being steered by negative emotion. So the whole list makes you hate him even more and more and more. So when you stain your dignity in your head, in your mouth, you will do it, you send. When you approach your partner, instead of resolving the previous problem and fight, You will start reminding them of the long list to make them understand that you deserved for me to fight with you. You deserve the worst. This is how we will justify it. And once again, by attacking like this, we provoke our partner to worsen the situation. And each time, we return to negative emotions again. Once again, I go to work thinking badly about my wife, and she will do the same about me. When we return, it's like two fighting rivals, two samurai who come back to kill each other. One is going to drive his sword deeper into the heart of the other. By seeking revenge on one another, the situation in that relationship will reach such a bad state that it will become unbearable, because it is a hell in that house. No one likes to be attacked. No one. Not you, nor me. That's why when they tell you that you are the worst, it bothers you. Why? Because we want to be the best. We want to be admired. We want to be loved. We want to be treated with respect. You understand? So what happens? That romantic relationship is doomed to failure, to ruin, and sometimes it ends in blows, fights, murders, and a lot of the worst. And the children who grow up in that family will never learn what love, respect, and affection mean. They will become delinquents in the future, and all the blame is yours for not controlling your negative emotion. Let's see. That was the first type. Then it will show how we act, what we have said, if we leave everything in the hands of emotions. Now let's see what a person with developed emotional intelligence does. They say very well, I am going to analyze it. Who is going to be left behind the helm, in control of life? The intellect. Then it says, emotion, you are guilty. We are going to throw you in jail. I won't let that negative emotion that once failed me and led me to argue with my wife, that caused me to suffer bitterness, an ugly emotional state, imprison me, shut up. We are going to put it in jail. Now, who is in charge? The intellect? The intellect will decide what to do. Then the intellect will study the situation well. It says, I got irritated. Why? All that is anger, yes. What is the negative emotional state? Comes from loving the mundane, from selfishness, from egocentrism. So when a person suffers from this selfishness, this very wicked degree, they say, I have the defect. I will see how to heal myself. The defect is mine. First, recognize that you have flaws. Secondly, you will seek to untie yourself, to detach from the mundane in order to suffer less. The last time I fought with my wife was when she asked me for something that unsettled me. It broke my comfort. Because I love the community, which is a mundane thing. If I told myself I must be responsible in front of my family and I must fulfill my responsibilities, then if she asks me for something, darling, I will gladly do it, sweetheart. I will gladly do it. But when I seek worldly comfort, when she demands something from me, it can, we could say, distress me, it bothers me. So little by little, I will do my best to be a responsible man and to cut the ties of worldly attachments. For example, Imam Khomeini, a living example, always practiced against what he liked to extinguish worldly attachment. A young lemon student says one day, I arrived where the young lemon was and had watermelon served on a plate. When I arrived from where Imovine was, Imam took the watermelon, took it away, and put it behind. And after the visit, I dared to ask the general emoji. One of the Imams said to Imam, what is wrong with you? Why was that watermelon served on the table and you took it away? Why didn't you let us eat? And he says, Lemon Johnny made a smile and told him to go ahead, eat. And the student of lemon honey said, I cut a piece of watermelon, put it in my mouth. Oh, watermelon helmet. They had sprinkled some salt on sweet watermelon. I asked the teacher, how is it that watermelon has some salt? The Manjoni looks at me and says, son, I saw that I like to eat watermelon on a hot summer day, but I didn't want to feed my ego. I didn't want to make myself like it. I wanted to control my ego. If I served my ego, what it liked was that by strengthening it to extinguish attachment, I did it. You eat it, it's watermelon, your body needs it, but I won't make it enjoy. Then the ego will strengthen, it will demand more from you, it will demand more. Therefore, in Islam and in all religious practices, there is a fasting that controls worldly desires. If you let them go, you will become an animal. The Holy Quran says they are like animals. They are even worse than animals. So, the only way to achieve a happy life is to control negative emotions. We do not let negative emotions take the wheel of our lives. It must be controlled through the intellect. Will the intellect analyze what your flaw was, your weak point? Have you been irritated, reacted so badly against your wife, verbally assaulted her? Why? What is happening to you? This has soured your life. This is not right. So we recognize our flaws and we are going to fix them. God bless you. Dear brother, all the norms of God, the norms of Islam, are for you to enjoy life, a true life, the pure life, the spiritual life, the life you deserve to have. A strong hug. It